You are watching the Notre Dame recruiting update. Well, it's not Mike Dancer. No, that is Mike Singer. Trey Yanity joining you here. Another Friday of Notre Dame football recruiting. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for being here again as we get into the month of April now. Mike, a lot to talk about with some visits. We're going to go down a list here, a little buy-sell list for you later on in the show. We're going to talk about how Notre Dame is looking as they head through spring practice here into the summer as far as recruiting goes. But, Mike, I want to know how you're doing. I know you had some Fortnite this morning. I know there's some Taco Bell and soccer and all kinds of fun stuff in your plans. How's it going, man?
It's good, man. Just living the dream. Lots of travel coming up, personal travel, some personal travel that mixes with work travel. Be going up to South Bend in a couple weeks. Be all over the Southeast in May, seeing some recruits as well as this month. So I'm pretty excited, Trey. It feels like for personal work busyness, it's a little bit of the calm before the storm. Like, it's busy right now, but it's about to pick up a lot more with all the travel, and then June getting hectic with official visits and camps and all that good stuff. So definitely looking forward to it, though, Trey.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And it is a little bit slower, like you said. So if you're here, we know you're a diehard, and we really appreciate you being here. Be sure to hit that like button, and be sure to get in the comments section as well. It's springtime. You can start to smell the freshly cut grass. The sun is coming out. The weather's getting a little bit warmer, but there's one thing that has to stop, Mike.
What's that?
What is that?
What is
the
that?
fact that people are coming here, taking in a show like this, watching our content, and the fact that they have not subscribed yet, guys. We don't want you to miss out. Don't do it any longer. Subscribe now. It has to end, guys. Be a part of our community. We want you here, and we want you to be able to get in the comment section as well. To do that, you got to be a subscriber. So
and it's free.
It's free. It's as easy as clicking a button. And, if you want to get even more exclusive content, go over to blueandgold.com as well. Not free, but a very cheap rate for all the content that you can take in over there. So go check it out, guys, blueandgold.com. You see it, $29.99. That's premium access, where you can get not just recruiting intel, but team intel as well, and all kinds of coverage there. Michael in the comments saying that we're bringing the recruiting intel in this show. Michael, thank you for being here. Guys, be like Michael. Get in the comments and let us know what you're thinking. Like I said, hit that like button for me as well. And, I got to apologize to start the show, Mike. I'm sorry if I look a little bit tired, if I sound a little bit tired. I've been losing some sleep, just thinking about all of the displaced corporate executives that don't really have direction in their life at this moment. Guys, that has to end as well. My perfect franchise is here for you. If you're an experienced entrepreneur, you want to diversify, Andy Ledecky is your guy. He is here to help. He's a huge sports fan, guys. He's a franchise veteran. He's owned multiple franchises and businesses. Using expertise, he helps others find the American dream through a very thorough consultation and evaluation process. All you have to do is call him. Call Andy, put your life in your own hands, and best of all, it is 100% free. That is $0 to you. What do you have to lose, guys? Find your perfect franchise at myperfectfranchise.net, MYPERFECT franchise.net. Guys, go check them out today. Mike, let's get into the show here. Some visits going on this week. We said it a little bit slower right now, but definitely some important visits still to talk about. Anyone on campus this weekend that you're excited about?
Yeah, so it was the 25th of March and April 1st were the two real big recruiting weekends. And then after the April 1st weekend, it's kind of just some players sprinkled in here and there until the big spring game weekend, of course, April 22nd. So I think Notre Dame usually does like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday kind of schedule for their practice. So that's why you had some guys on campus Tuesday, Thursday, and just one upcoming this Easter weekend. But Trey, I did want to kind of go briefly through to kind of give our viewers here some of the latest names who are on campus. EJ Colson, 6 foot, 195 pounds from Cedar Grove in the Atlanta area, a big time high school program in the Peach State. Handful of offers so far. See, the RPM says he's trending early on towards Virginia Tech. Notre Dame has not offered Colson yet, but still very much evaluating him. And again, had him on campus. That's a 4-star quarterback from Georgia. Noah McCall, number 48 overall player, number 4 linebackers in the 2025 class. Believe this was his second time on campus. He also visited for the Clemson game last year, so that's a really good one to go to. And then was just back this past Tuesday. So highly ranked guy. He's from Southern California. I mean, you look at the offer list, it is definitely big time with the schools that are after him. So it's definitely good for Notre Dame to get him on campus. Another top 2025 player who the Irish are after, Dalen McCutcheon. Another top 100 prospect. He's from Lucas, Texas. I believe that's Dallas area. Lovejoy High School. Another, offers from tons of schools. And he's just a sophomore. Oklahoma, the RPM leader right now. If a prospect has visited a local school a couple times, and again, they're not far, I think the RPM kind of favors them. So you see that on 3 recruiting prediction machine, like in Oklahoma so far. He had a really good visit to Notre Dame, and you can find the full article from my interview with him over at blueandgold.com. There is Mr. McCutcheon with Notre Dame receivers coach Chauncey Stuckey. Moving along, how about this guy, Cam Williams? Man, at the end of the day, you just kind of hope that, he ends up a 5-star. I always have people ask me, what is it going to take for someone to be a 5-star? I'm like, yeah, I mean, you got to play well and do all that stuff, but you got to get a little bit of just good fortune. Because I really think a lot of these prospects, it's just splitting hairs, and it's really subjective, and it's kind of tough to decipher. But I mean, as things stand for Cam Williams going into his senior year, which will be here before you know it. I mean, look, On3's got him as a number 29 player in the country. I mean, that 96 grade right there, that is, I think a 97 is a 5-star. So he is a high 4-star, obviously. It's a number 29 player in the country, number 7 receiver. And I also got to talk to Cam today about his Notre Dame visit. Really nothing to take away. He's just solid with Notre Dame. He's just vibing with the coaching staff. It was good for him to get back to campus. Williams grew up a big Michigan fan, which I always like to note because he ended up picking the Fighting Irish over Michigan. You always like to throw that in there for Fighting Irish fans. How about the return of CJ Carr? I think it was pretty good to see him on campus. This was his first time visiting Notre Dame since January. So Carr made it back Thursday. At least to my knowledge. Maybe he no, he definitely visited, because I talked to Cam about it. I was like, maybe. I guess I didn't 100% confirm it, but no, I talked to Cam, and he said it was really good hanging out with Carr. And of course, I got to see Carr last weekend at a 7-on-7 tournament in Tennessee. I'm not really going to talk about that because I think I've done 3 videos on it now, if not 4. So go watch some of those. Definitely the one from Thursday with Darren Pritchett. Recommend watching that because that had all the clips in there. And then last but certainly not least, the only visitor to my knowledge this weekend is Marquise Gallegos from West Hills, California, Chaminade in Southern California. Considered a USC lean. This is his first time to Notre Dame since the spring game last year. It's Easter weekend at Notre Dame. I can't imagine there's a whole lot going on in terms of, business side of things. But when, a 4-star safety like this is able to come to campus this weekend, you host them. So Marquise Gallegos visiting Notre Dame this weekend, Trey.
At a Chaminade High School there. And, you asked the question, what does it take to become a 5-star? Our guy, Charles Power, always doing an excellent job, putting this all together here. And it's cutthroat. It is difficult. Those guys, so talented 4-stars. You may see the bump there. But guys to look out for visiting this weekend as well. Mike, can Notre Dame go into Southern California and land the wide receiver out of that 2024 class as well? Jason Robinson, some buzz there. And I see some buzz in the comments already about Cam Williams there as well. But, Robinson, a wide receiver right now between Colorado, USC, Notre Dame, Arizona State on his RPM machine. How do you feel about him at this point?
I mean, I think he's an awesome player. I mean, he's not the biggest receiver. He's listed at 145 pounds. I can't imagine he's 145 pounds anymore, but, he's definitely that more of a slot guy. I was talking to Notre Dame source this morning, and, I mean, the Irish are fired up about Jason Robinson. 4-star receiver. he's from Southern California, and then work for his dad brought him out to Houston, and now he's back at Long Beach Poly, which is considered a USC feeder school. He was committed to USC for a while, so you're just kind of thinking, SoCal kid, Long Beach Poly, that doesn't look good for Notre Dame. Decommits from USC. Believe he initially gave that pledge in September 2021 and then decommitted in February, maybe. Colorado and Notre Dame were kind of the two instantly that were like, all right, these are going to be two big time options for him. Jason Robinson thinks the world of Deion Sanders. Who wouldn't? If I'm a young athlete, I'm definitely thinking the world of Deion Sanders as well. He visited Notre Dame for, I believe, the Boston College game last year. That visit went really well. And, Chancey Stuckey and Marcus Freeman and these guys, are a part of Robinson being very interested in the Irish. And then USC is still very much in the mix as well. And then Cal is the school that Robinson visited this time last month. So I think those are the four big contenders. And I know Robinson even said as much to On3's Chad Simmons at a camp in Los Angeles, Under Armour camp this past weekend. If you're going to ask me, Trey, where Robinson's going to end up, I'm saying Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame for him. I'm not going to log a pick yet. Maybe one or two of my coworkers may soon. I don't know. We'll have to see. Talking about in favor of the Irish. The Buffs are still kind of, he's visiting Notre Dame next week. I believe it's the 16th. Or maybe that's the Monday after. But anyways, he's visiting Notre Dame, and then he goes to Colorado. So you always kind of like to be that second visit rather than the first one. But hey, we'll see. I think Notre Dame lands him. I got 3 sources here that tell me that Notre Dame's in front right now. But just my general thoughts on it, it's going to be tough for Notre Dame. But I know I'm kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth here, saying I like Notre Dame to land up. It's also going to be tough. I think you can say both. I think both things can be very, very much true. It's going to be a huge battle. I like Notre Dame right now, but it's still going to be a very closely contested contest between the Irish and the Buffaloes, and then the USC is not going to lay down, Trey.
If it is Notre Dame, why is it Notre Dame? What are you hearing from these sources? And I guess, how do they beat out these Southern California schools? How do they land this recruitment if it is Notre Dame?
I mean, the relationship with Stuckey is big for him. I mean, Stuckey's done a really good job since he got to Notre Dame. He has the pedigree of, hey, look me up. Like, I got a Wikipedia page, bro. Like, I played quarterback at the high school level. He was big time in the state of Georgia. Did really good things at Clemson, and then several years in the NFL. So that's a big connection. Marcus Freeman, and how he does with these athletes. I mean, he can sell Notre Dame with the best of them. The one thing Robinson did tell me in a recent interview that I did with him, I want to say it was a week after he decommitted. He did tell me that he does not like the cold. The thing is, Colorado, Denver's pretty cold, right?
Boulder.
Yeah, I mean, Boulder is like a little bit north of Denver. Do you ever steal a mattress from a roommate in Boulder? I don't know.
Man, how about it, Mike? I'm always shocked at your references, man. You have great taste.
You think I'm a few years older than Trey, so I mean, it's
old kook. No, you're not. You're not. We started today with a conversation about Fortnite. We got references like that. No, continue, man.
Dude, that's a great song. It's on. I think it's on. Me and my wife's favorite songs of all time playlist. It's a really good song. Chainsmokers.
I need to see this playlist, but yes.
Boulder's cold. All right. I mean, it's cold. I've been there. It snows a lot.
It's a dry cold. Yeah.
Unless he wants to stay at USC, considering, that those seemingly top 3 schools, USC, Colorado, Notre Dame, unless he stays at home at USC, he's going to go play in the cold. So, it's got to be, that relationship with the staff, selling the academics. I mean, when I asked these recruits, like, hey, what did Marcus Freeman tell you on your visit or on that phone call? It's the same thing. Like, Notre Dame, it's always going to be compete, for a national championship and compete in the classroom and get this amazing degree. I don't care what happens in college football, that's going to be Notre Dame. And yeah, the brand and all that stuff, sure, but it's the 4 for 40 pitch. So Trey, you can ask me about any recruit, and it's pretty much going to be compete for national championship and be set up for life after football. Early playing time, sure. Hey, this offense is going or defense is suited for me. Sure, those are going to be factors as well. But what Notre Dame is, that's always going to be the biggest thing that Freeman and these guys sell.
Yeah, I mean it's such a distinct culture. You don't really find a culture like Notre Dame anywhere else. You could argue their rival has excellent culture. Some of their other technical rivals around the country, the other blue bloods, yes, but doesn't have the profile like
Different,
Notre Dame.
man. It's different.
It's a nationwide brand.
There's not
independent,
many schools at this point in my career that I would want to cover. Maybe there's 3 total. And Notre Dame's easily one. I mean, I love covering Notre Dame. It's just the people that you get to interact with. It's just special, man. And Notre Dame's so cool. It's such an amazing university. The campus. I don't know. I know a lot of people love to hate Notre Dame, but I love to love Notre Dame, man. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you guys. It's pretty special.
Love to love it. It's it's kind of like the Yankees. It's an American team. The Cowboys. It's got a nationwide brand and distinct culture. I know you hate those comparisons there, Mike.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I'm
It has
just
the love hate.
yeah, I get what you're coming from.
But that being said, obviously NIL is changing things for everybody in college football at this point. And we had a video out, it was probably about a month ago, 3 weeks ago at this point, talking about if NIL or if Notre Dame is NIL's big loser, rather. How much do you think the culture, and I know this is a bit ambiguous, how much do you think all of that outweighs the academic profile, outweighs the NIL loss?
Okay, so the first thing with NIL is you hear I was talking to somebody on my way up to Knoxville this past Friday about the number that a freshman defensive lineman was getting playing for a team in the South. And I was thinking, I was like, it was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, I just can't see this being long term where it's just people funneling in cash and not getting any return. Right? I mean, NIL, at some point, like if it's the pay for play stuff, at some point there's got to be a return on investment. I mean, unless you really are just made of money. If you're just giving in millions of dollars going into this, and it's like there's nothing really to show for it, the team still stinks. I think it's going to come back around. And I will admit I'm not a big NIL guy. Like I know On3 has a massive NIL division of covering that, and I see tweets from our boss Shannon Terragut. I'm like, I have no idea what he's talking about. I am roster brand and all the collective stuff. That's not me. I'm not well trained in that world. I'm just more of a traditional recruiting guy, but I just think that it's going to kind of reset. It's going to make more sense as time goes on. So a long way to say, Trey, Notre Dame is able to say right now or in 5 years from now, there's this money up front that that maybe you can get at another school, right? I can't imagine Notre Dame would say that, but just bear with me. Just go along with me. Notre Dame is saying you can get this just a puddle of money, right? Just a puddle of joy. Or you can get an ocean of money, right? It's the monetary, what you can get now, or if you go here, think about the grand scheme of how much money you can make with getting, okay, you're in business, right? Okay, go to the Mendoza School. Here's what former Notre Dame players have made going into business. Like that's a really enticing thing. And like the kids who are into that and their families are into liking that pitch, Notre Dame's gonna land those guys. So that's a long answer for you, Trey. I wanted to address this comment. Daniel says, if you love it, why don't you live in South Bend? Daniel, do you live in South Bend? I mean, Notre Dame is absolutely amazing. I can't get my wife. I've talked to my wife about moving to South Bend. She won't do it. She just won't do it. She doesn't like the cold. It's miserable winters up there, so. I go up there when I need to. I got direct flights. It's fantastic. I go up to Notre Dame 3-4 times a year, and I'm good. I would move there. I would move to South Bend, but yeah. So a lot of people can't, but it's the national and international brand for a reason, and for recruiting purposes, I could live in South Bend, but I got a huge Notre Dame target 45 minutes, down the interstate. I can drive 5 hours to Mississippi and see the top quarterback target in 2025. I can go drive 4 hours to Charlotte and see multiple Notre Dame targets, go down to Tampa, see family, and see 6 or 7 Notre Dame recruits in the air. So that's why I don't live in South Bend.
Well, you're certainly not alone. There's Notre Dame fans, goes back to what we were talking about earlier, all over America, because it is that brand. And, I do think that it does outweigh NIL at a certain point. And I agree. I think that is the pitch from Notre Dame. Think about the long-term money. Think about what a degree from Notre Dame can do for you and your long-term success. But, it's an interesting thought because you look at teams like the Yankees, Major League Baseball. You look at certain franchises around sports, even internationally, the idea of making a World Series by spending X amount of money, I think could appeal to donors in the long run at these schools. You said return on investment, even if they don't see it necessarily. I think there's
got to do it.
Places, yeah. Well, yeah.
Think about Texas A&M. Texas A&M signed that insane class, and then they stink on the field. And then the 2023 class, like their 2022 class was nuts. 2023 was, I think, finished around 10 or so.
Yeah. Do you think they the donors continue to do what they did in 2022? I'm not sure if they did or not in 2023, to be honest with you, but do you think it stops? I feel like the thought of potentially winning games because of a dollar amount.
All right, let's just look at the proof in the pudding. And rankings aren't everything, but A&M right now has the nation's number 16 class with how many commitments? 4. 2 3-stars. All right. Let's look at the 2020. Let's go to the 2022 class. Yeah, number 1 in the country after being number 8 in 2021. Let's count the 5-stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 5-stars? Wait, no. 7. Is that it? Just 7. Just 7 measly 5-stars. Number 1 class in the country. And then the next year in 2023, 15.
Well, and maybe that is kind of a precedent that's been set now with that particular situation, because if it worked out like it could have, the 5-stars are getting that ranking for a reason. Maybe you continue to see them invest and other schools invest, but maybe that's the precedent that Notre Dame needed exactly here to kind of, push all that away and say, hey, at the end of the day, NIL is what it is. It's about getting the right degree, coming to play for the tradition in this program. And, hopefully that continues to work out here in South Bend. Hey, guys, let us know what you think about the NIL, about where Notre Dame stands in all of it in the comments section, and keep getting your questions in. We're going to try to get to some at the end of the show here. But, we've said it time and time again, Mike, no matter the changes in college football, no matter what happens with the NIL, what Notre Dame does on the field, Auggie's Locker Room is going to give you the best deal, and it's going to complete your man cave any way you draw it. If you're a passionate Notre Dame fan, you're looking for that special piece to complete your rec room, your man cave, whatever the case may be, go to augieslockerroom.com. They got a wide selection of Notre Dame stadium pieces, jerseys, helmets, autographs, one-of-a-kind Rockney items, and you can even find exclusive Joe Montana signed items. I died on that hill, Mike, that Joe Montana was the GOAT for a good portion of my life up until that 2000 and I think 16, maybe 17 Super Bowl when Tom Brady pulled the comeback off.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that a Joe Montana signed jersey wouldn't be an even better piece to complete your rec room still. Guys, they have items like items from the famous sculptor Jerry McKenna, miniature statues, miniature bronze statues like the ones you can find around the stadium. And if he doesn't have it, Auggie is going to go out and find it for you. Like I said, that's augieslockerroom.com, or go visit him in person. Go see the full selection there, 1811 South Bend Avenue. Give him a call, guys, 574-277-INDY, 574-277-INDY. That's like Notre Dame Notre Dame. And as we
Trey,
keep it rolling here,
dude, some of this stuff is
oh, here we
insane.
go.
If
Yeah,
I
you got
have
it.
one critique of Augie's locker room,
No.
the sold out that just hurts. You know, when you see it, like, oh my gosh, look how sick. Come on.
Well, he will get it.
Okay, signed jersey, Ronnie Stanley assists. I get like, hey, let's show that we had it in this kind of
Oh, if
stuff.
you want it, he's going to find it for you.
Oh yeah, he will. It just stings, Auggie, because I'm like, I got a little extra cash in the bank right now. Maybe I can pick that up. But seriously, I mean, you got to stay on this website. Like, come refresh it every day and see what pops up, and you get it before anyone else does. That's kind of my point here.
Pretty some of the coolest stuff.
Yeah.
Coolest stuff here. You see the helmets, the autographs, the sculptures. Go check it out. Yeah, I see a comment there. Mike wants that Kyle Hamilton jersey.
I really have. It was there. There's one at the end. Sold out. Yeah. Someone scooped that up for me for, my birthday's coming up in August. Someone else scooped that for me.
Well, maybe that's why it's sold out. Somebody did. They're waiting to give it to you.
Yeah, right.
Let's keep it rolling here, Mike. It's going to go game style. Game show style now. We're going to do buy, sell on following Notre Dame targets. I got about 10 names here for you. We're just going to kind of run through them quickly. Buy or sell, or I guess hold. We can do a third option here as well on these guys. Let's start with Justin Scott. You got him pulled up there.
All right.
What are you doing here?
All right. First of all, I'm going to say our live audience right now, we've had much bigger Friday shows on our live audience. So for I think it's 77 people watching right now. You're getting a heck of a show. I mean, I'm feeling it today. My Wednesday show with Tim Hyde, I wasn't feeling it. And I went on rants, and I wasn't on my sharpest. I had in-laws in that night, and father-in-law asked me, he said, hey, how was your show? Just wasn't feeling it. It wasn't my best.
Michael enjoyed it.
I mean,
you got some heaters today, Mike. So thank you.
Yeah, the buy sell segment was amazing, though. Appreciate the comment, Michael. Yeah, the buy sell segment was amazing Wednesday. I was like, let's bring this to recruiting. So buy sell hold. Notre Dame in the recruitment of 5-star defense lineman Justin Scott. Can I do like an in between of buy and hold? Maybe just like just throw a little cash on the side. Like, I'm not pushing my chips in the center.
Put down
maybe a small bet, maybe a little check raise action. Maybe just maybe not check raise. That's definitely not. Maybe I'm just raising the blinds a little bit pre-flop, just to push people out with that 5-6 suited. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. It's a slight buy for me. I don't want to get cocky because it's a 5-star defense lineman, with some, these 5-star players in Notre Dame, like, it's the Irish can have so much going for them, but the recruitments with these guys can just be so nutty, so I think everything makes sense for Notre Dame to land them. But with the 5 stars and just the craziness of recruitment, what can happen, that's what's giving me pause here. But I am buying. I've got it. Trey, when did I log this prediction? Let's see.
Time machine.
August 8th, 2022. Now, let me be very clear. There's been multiple times since I logged that prediction several months ago that I did not feel good about it at all. And it was like, I'm going to move on this thing. And I think I've even reported as much. But right now, I'm loving it. There you go.
I like it. Justin Scott's. Let's hope the cards come out right here. Post flop. Let's go to Isaiah Canyon. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Yes.
Like the Grand. What are you doing here? Buy, sell, hold.
I asked Isaiah how to spell it, or how to say his last name. He said like the Grand Canyon. I was like, that's exactly what I was hoping. I'm buying Notre Dame to land Isaiah Canyon. And we also talked earlier in the show about Jason Robinson from Southern California. And then before that, we talked about Cam Williams, who's already committed to Notre Dame. That might be your 3-man receiver group. That might be it. I'm telling this kid right here at 6'2.5", 193 pounds. He's a freak show, man. I think that at the end of this, everyone's going to have offered him, Warner Robins is where Chancey Stuckey's from, so there's that connection. But people need to know that Warner Robins is in the Macon area. It's not a hotbed for high school football. Like, coaches go down there, of course, but it's not like Atlanta and going up to Marietta and those areas of the the Peach State. Like, Warner Robins is, obviously it's got really good football, but it's not, doesn't get the attention of Atlanta. So I think he's kind of flown under the radar a little bit, and he's also played like quarterback and stuff. So it's a big buy for me on Isaiah Canyon. Big buy.
Yeah, not a hotbed for recruiting. A hot place, though. That is
it kind of is a hot. I mean, I don't want to call it not a hotbed, but it's not like Atlanta. That's what I'm going with.
No, Atlanta, one of the most loaded areas in the country, of course. How about Deuce Knight? What are we doing here, Mike?
I'm buying Deuce Knight. So that's we got a slight buy, a buy, and a buy. I think that if I was a betting man, I would say that Deuce Knight is Notre Dame's most likely class of 2025 quarterback. Target that they'll land. 6'4", 190 pounds, rocket arm, athletic. Visited Notre Dame recently. Good relationship with Gino Gaduli, Jared Parker, Marcus Freeman, Chad Bowden, the four-headed monster right there for Notre Dame. Recruiting these quarterbacks. All four of these guys are involved. Upside is insane. Yeah, I agree with Michael's comment here. I am buying the Deuce. I'm gonna go see him this spring. That's a trip that I have circled. I love covering quarterback recruiting. It's a lot of fun. So if you're telling me, goodness gracious, back-to-back quarterback classes of Kenny Minchie, CJ Carr, and Deuce Knight, I am saying thank you, Tommy Reese. Thank you, Gino Gaduli.
We're going to make them in advance. And Anthony Carey looking to be a part of this team as well. Tampa, Florida, Carrollwood Day. His last name's Carey, and he's a running back.
It's a great name.
This is an awesome one here. What are we thinking? Buy, sell?
Yeah. Of all the guys we're talking about in this little segment, this is a player I don't think we really have ever talked about Ant Carey. I'm holding. He's visiting Notre Dame in June for an official. That'll be his first time on campus. I don't want to sell because when guys go to Notre Dame, especially for an official visit, who knows what's going to happen? Because Notre Dame's a special place. Like, Notre Dame could go for not getting a kid, not very involved, but hey, I'll go up and visit it, and then it just clicks and they love it and commit. So you never want to sell. Thinking about, hey, Carey is coming in June for an official. But I wouldn't buy yet here either. He's got a top 7 schools list. Florida's listed as the RPM leader. I don't think the Gators made his top 7 or his top 6 or something like that. So maybe it's like North Carolina, or I think maybe Georgia made the top group. I can't remember. The RPM's going off the data, and I don't think it takes top schools into account. Maybe it should. Yeah, I'm holding. It's an optimistic hold, though. I don't think he probably ends up at Notre Dame, but I'm still a little bit optimistic, if that makes sense.
He's going to check. I think maybe a raise on this next one. A lot of folks talking about Ryan Wingo. Buy?
We need like a, like the fast money where they do the buy, hold, sell, and you're like, yeah. Oh, no, you know what? Even I think like Colin Cowherd even does something like that where we'll do a segment like that, and you have the little sound bite. Sell, sell, sell. I think we need one of those, like buy.
We need some kind of sound effect.
All right, I'm going to put you up to a trade. We'll bring this back. I'm selling Ryan Wingo. Let's see. Old Mike Singer's gotten a little loosey-goosey with his predictions over the years. Yeah, I logged that one last summer, and Notre Dame was definitely in the lead there, but not anymore. Probably Tennessee. Yeah, I'm not liking Notre Dame's chances here. I would sell a really good athlete, really good player, but Notre Dame, on three's dropped them a little bit. He's number 74 overall player in the country. I like Wingo a lot as a prospect. I don't think he's a 5-star. The time I saw him in person, he was just a little bit raw as a receiver, which I think his upside is incredible. But for me, I would want a little closer to, or a little bit more developed at this point for me to rank him as a 5-star, but definitely a top 100 player.
Yeah, you see Tennessee also heavily in the race there. like Wingo, but don't love his chances to Notre Dame at this point. If you guys like the show, hit the like button.
Please.
Click it right there. And click that subscribe while you're at it. Michael has been great. He's been an excellent commenter today.
I appreciate you, Mike.
Join him, guys. Get in there and let us know what you're thinking as we continue here. A few more guys to go through. Let's go Jeremiah McClellan. I think Michael might have even teased it for us here.
Yeah, I know you people can read the tabs up there. You know who's coming next. Another St. Louis guy. I am very high on McClellan. I think he's an absolute stud. He's probably going to Ohio State. He was on. I've been fighting a yawn here for a little bit. I didn't get like, excuse me.
You've also been losing sleep over the displaced corporate executives. You don't understand.
You and me both. Yeah, my buddy Matt Parker covers Ohio State for round 3. Logged a prediction. Looks like last week for McClellan to land at Ohio State. I would agree with that at this point. At that 7-on-7 tournament, McClellan plays with Carr's team, and looks like I just got you, Trey. I saw you put your hand over your mouth.
Hundreds of miles away.
Yawns are contagious, man. So McClellan was wearing Ohio State sleeves at that tournament, which, and I don't like to break down
Going off the sleeves, Mike.
I know.
Come on.
But I think he's going to Ohio State. I don't really like Notre Dame's chances here. I would sell.
Sell for the sleeves. We got, I believe, 2 or 3 more left. Kevin Haywood.
I mean, look, as soon as we get done with the show, I got a question for you, Trey. And this is all right. We're gonna put this aside. This is a real question. All right. I've been thinking about this. If someone says I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee, I don't like that term, because my thought is, are you talking about like your 3rd mug? Or are you talking cup, like an actual cup of coffee? Because cup is a measurement, right? My coffee pot, Michael, you're killing me with comments. You're making me laugh, man. It's by cups. It goes up to 4 cups. So I almost wanted to say I'm going to go make 4 cups of coffee, because it quite literally is 4 cups of coffee. But I'm not downing 4 mugs of coffee. It's just going to be 2. So I think for most people that would be 2 cups of coffee. But that drives me crazy, because in reality, it's 4 cups, because it's 4 using the measurement cups. Trey, you're side-eyeing me. Tell me what you think.
Oh, I've never thought this deeply about coffee, but you got me thinking now, Mike. Maybe I'm talking to people on 4 cups. I think they're on 2 cups. It's a whole different experience.
That's what I'm saying. People are like, "Oh, I'm on my 6th cup." What do you mean by that?
Well, as long as you don't ask me to come up for coffee. Let's keep it going. Kevin Haywood, how are you feeling here about this one?
And Trey wants to all right, Mike, come on.
I need some coffee.
I'm going with the Justin Scott buy. It's the slight buy. So I'm doing my little bit of a pre-flop raise, because I'm scared. Trey, I see you, bro. You all right there?
I'm great. Yeah, I just all the poker terminology, man. It's
I don't know if you're yawning again. I see you covering your mouth, because I do this all the time in my Wednesday show when Tim Hyde's talking, when Tim the politician is talking. All right, Kevin Haywood. I'm slightly buying. I do like Notre Dame. He visited campus last weekend, but people at Penn State I talked to, on the Nittany Lion side of things, they're also pretty confident. Some kind of like, oh, I don't love when both sides of things are pretty confident, but I don't know. I kind of like where Notre Dame's at, but I'm also scared of Penn State. I would say if he ends the month still uncommitted, then I would like Notre Dame more, because I think he's going to Penn State soon. So if he goes to Penn State, doesn't commit, I'll feel even better.
Kevin Haywood, they're out of Pope John Paul II.
Oh,
look at you! You got your hand on your mouth now, Mike. We're just
dude. No, I'm struggling, man. I had a big I had a flatbread for lunch, a little pizza flatbread. I just burped that up. It hurt a little bit.
Well, don't get injured here, Mike. We only got a couple guys left. Hang in there for me if you don't mind.
Oh, man.
I don't know if we ever got the correct pronunciation here.
I did. He texted me back.
Oh. Well, how about you go ahead then, Mike, because I I was just going to give him an abbreviation. I don't want to mess it up. We got silent G's, we got silent H's, but we got a lot of talent here.
Trey and I were talking about this. How do you pronounce this last name? It's just the liturgy, like I've been saying.
Okay, I was thinking.
I told Trey, I was like, let's just call him Ryan G, because that could be the pronunciation of his last name, or it could just be an abbreviation. And no, it's both, apparently. I'm buying Ryan G because of my mantra for all the visits. He visited for the March weekend, March 25th, and he was back on campus last weekend. So I like Notre Dame for Ryan G right now. It's tight end U at Notre Dame. Same high school of Jack Nickel, who's a Notre Dame commit in the 2022 class. That didn't work out, but maybe this one does. And I'm just going to go last. Jaden Riddell, the tight end. So G's in the 2025 class. Riddell's in the 2024 class. I am selling Riddell. I think it's probably Tennessee or Georgia. That's my guess there. I don't love where the Irish are at, even after he visited at the end of March. I could be totally wrong, and he ends up with the Fighting Irish. I just personally think he's going to be the SEC. Really quick, Trey. Throw this back up. In the comments, most likely to commit next. Give me Kennedy Urlacher. Brian Urlacher. Give me Kennedy Urlacher. I'm just going to throw that name. I don't think there's anyone with like commitment dates set for soon that are major Notre Dame targets. So maybe I'm just forgetting somebody, but I'm going to go Kennedy Urlacher. Josiah Brown is a hold for me because I haven't heard much about Josiah Brown. So if you made me choose between buy or sell, I would choose sell, but I'm just going to hold because I don't know a lot about his recruitment right now. Before Trey closes out, I want to thank folks for watching, because the past 10 minutes or so, I was bringing so much energy early, and then I've really, just gotten silly here in the past 10 minutes.
This is a marathon, Mike. This is Notre Dame football recruiting. And I would love to get some Follow the Visit t-shirts made at some point here. So merch line.
All the visits. I want Tim the politician, because I love our on our show Wednesday, Trey. Tim was just flailing all over the place, just back and forth on things. Like, Tim, you should run for office. He already looks handsome. He's got a great head of hair. I think he'd be good for public office. Yeah, follow visits. Got to get a Tim the Politician shirt. And how
about just a Hyde Singer?
Hyde Singer 2024.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, oh, gosh, that's genius. Make it happen, folks. And then Goolsby's got a tons of sayings. Let your nuts hang. That's a Goolsby one. Of
course.
And I think we'll end it. We'll just end it there.
I think that's a good one to end on. Chris, this is another pronunciation. I'm gonna have to take a sec here. I believe Warakora. Thank you for being here, and we appreciate your comments. Guys, stay tuned for that next commit. We're going to have it for you at the Notre Dame Blue and Gold YouTube channel and blueandgold.com as well. Guys, if you like this show, please be sure to join us again next week and hit that like button for me on the way out. And like I said, it's got to end, guys. Subscribe. It's as easy as clicking a button. It's free, and then $29.99 is all it's going to cost you. It's a bundle.
Not sure on a show next Friday. I don't know. I'm seeing Taylor Swift in concert Thursday in Florida.
Right, Mike, how about it? That's a hard ticket to get.
It's a long story. It's a very long story. We'll save it for the next show. But I don't know. I might be in Florida Friday. I might be driving up. TBD on the show next Friday.
Well, T-Swizzle in the plants, then, I guess.
Dude, I've got the Chainsmokers. I got T-Swizzle. I'm very young and relevant.
You're with it. And guys, we thank you for being with it on this show again today. Join us next week, potentially, maybe not. We're gonna get you updated there. If not, we'll see you here real soon. And like I said, guys, check us out on Blue and Gold to stay tuned for the rest of the month of April. But for Mike Singer, my name is Trey Anity. Thank you guys for being here today. Let's go Fighting Irish. We'll see you soon.